Okay, so this video we're going to cover. Not even really sure how to call this, but it's how we use the joint locks in a way that completely disrupt their structure without using force. If I'm using effort, if I'm using force, if I'm trying to pressure my opponent to go down, it's really just an indication that my technique is a little poor. So I'll go right into some examples. I'll use this arm. So there's a technique, it's called different things in different systems, but variations of, let's say I'm in here and I'm doing this. Now let's just assume I had a good entry so I don't have to worry about all the other stuff where people say, yeah, you could do this, you could do that. Let's just assume I entered properly, I struck, all that. Now I'm here, I'm trying to go for the arm, and from here, he resists. He tries to pull his elbow in, he does that, and all right, now what's funny is, get your arm nice and tight. So here, if I try to force it this way, we're going to be into a battle of who's stronger. I'll overpower him because it's 2-on-1, but if he moves around too, I may lose the technique, he may get behind you, no good. Now, I do this, and he's resisting. Now what I do is I bring the hand, like I'm pulling it behind his head, and immediately the body responds. So I'm here, and as I just turn and do that, that starts to disrupt his body. And many techniques work that way. If I have the wrist lock here, and he starts to get rigid, I just, again, move my body so I bring his hand this way, and his body responds. Now let's say he turns his chest towards me, like he wants to push with the other hand. Okay, so I can still move in this way and still get the response. Alternately, what I can do is like a spiraling motion like this, like a cork, but aim it towards his opposite leg, and it'll turn him. So if he's trying to reach with that hand, it'll turn his body away, okay? So the point of this is to learn how they're kind of like gears mechanically. So how one thing, so if I'm doing this, all right, how do I actually turn, right? So this, it's almost like going, not turning there, but driving underneath this way, and there's the response, yeah? So instead of thinking of the joint lock itself, right? Instead of thinking I've got the wrist lock here, I've got the wrist lock there, try to see beyond that. What is the wrist lock for? Yeah, I'm attacking the wrist, but I should be doing it in a way that prevents him from being able to hit me, prevents him from being able to kick, move. So when I do it, I should take his structure away from him with it, right? Then I can start to do whatever it is that I want to do, right? Same thing if I'm doing this one here. It's not just a matter of taking his wrist and I got the wrist lock. Yeah, then he's going to get creative, and this is why a lot of people fail when it comes to wrist locks. Wrist locks are notoriously difficult to pull off, just because they don't train it properly. So you have it here. If again, instead of using my hands, I just use my body, right? So I just turn, and now once it's there, I drive it again towards the other foot, okay? And that's it. That's all you need. All right, so the techniques in themselves aren't as important as the idea of causing spinal displacement and a disruption in their balance, okay? So we're in here, we have this kind of, he's trying to wrestle with me kind of a thing, and so now I have here, and I have an elbow, but now he's going to start punching me. It's no good, okay? So same kind of thing, he's trying to grab onto me. Yes, I can strike, I can hit, and all of that. But let's say I catch that same technique where I have his elbow, and what I'm going to do is try to step in and drive towards the opposite foot, and that'll turn him away from me, and then that's where I have my options, okay? So it's a strange little mechanical change where instead of trying to grab the arm and pull like this, it's just stepping in, crossing, right? Because what I'm doing is, as I'm driving this way, naturally his elbow bends. So you see a lot of people with this technique where they try and they just wrap their arm around and just swing it around the other way and just come out. And I see it all the time. But if I'm here and I just drive in, that'll cause the elbow to bend exactly the way I want it to bend, and now I have the technique. Okay? Plus, Look at his spine. His spinal alignment is all messed up, which means he can't do much else. Okay? So that's it. That's how you use your joint locks. Pay attention to these little points where you go to disrupt your balance and cause some kind of a spinal dysfunction. Okay? Train safe, train smart. If you can't do it slow, without much effort, speed, all that is covering up your mistakes, really. Speed is what we do when our timing sucks. I posted that in the Facebook group page, and it's true. If I have good timing, I don't need to move very quickly. If I have bad timing, I need to make up with speed. Okay? Now, when you have good timing and you start to add a little speed, it gets nice. But timing first. Okay? All right.